In such a cold and unforgiving world, snowflakes are offering a message of hope. I've just watched you all give your speeches, or at least most of you, and I have to say that I'm enamored with the diversity and the magnitude of what everyone has brought to the table. Each one of you are like a snowflake. You're cool, you're unique, and you each have something to say. Today, I would like to talk about what snowflakes had to say to Dr. Masaru Emoto, and I will apply ancient art as well as Isaac Newton's philosophy to the findings of Dr. Emoto's work. Dr. Emoto was working in alternative medicine before he became interested in ice crystals. His scientific experiment is very simple. First, he collects fresh water that's from streams that are far away from any type of civilization because those get the best type of crystal results. He then freezes them in a petri dish and then exposes them to certain stimuli, including songs, pictures, words, and prayers. Then he would examine under the microscope the resulting snowflake, and the results were nothing short of breathtaking. Positively emotionally charged stimuli consistently produce beautiful crystals, while negatively emotionally charged stimuli consistently produce deformed ice formations. Emoto understands the limitations of his work. He even said, probably we understand 3%. In other words, I think 97% is unknown. He describes the process as Haddo vibrations, which are the inherent vibrations within the word that makes the crystal turn into something different. Now, I want to talk a little bit about sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is the ancient study of the supernatural world's relation to ours using math and geometry. This symbol right here is called the flower of life. It has a story behind it. The story is that God starts right in the center as an infinite point, and he expands his consciousness. He then moves to any point and expands his consciousness once again, creating two circles that intersect at 2 points. Then he goes to each intersection and creates a new circle, and then by the time he creates the 7th circle, he's created the seed of life. And that's also where the 7-day creation comes from in the Bible. The flower of life transcends cultures, and it has no origin. It's been found all over the world. And the most impressive to me is how the symbol has 6 directions emanating from each circle, much like how a snowflake has 6 directions. Since the symbol is based in consciousness and emanates in 6 directions, could it possibly hold the answer to how our thoughts are creating the snowflakes? Now I want to talk about Sir Isaac Newton. He was said to be one of the most influential scientists of all time. He believed in one God, but he rejected the Trinity, which is a belief that could have gotten him killed during his time. One of the things he believed in is the idea of as above, so below, meaning that belief in all natural systems are just similar expressions of themselves, but they're all interconnected. According to modern science, the fact that gravity causes things to go in a circle, as well as atoms causing the electrons to move in a circle, is just a coincidence. Isaac thinks that there's more to that. Continuing on with his quote, he comes up with the idea of everything arising from one. This is pretty significant because he died in 1727, and more than 200 years later, the Big Bang Theory came along, which basically said that everything came from one significant point. So this scientific study is hard to accept because it seems like magic voodoo forces which are causing the ice crystals to form. But the answer is that we just don't have a full explanation yet. It will later be classified as natural. But if magic is intentionally bringing about an outcome through specific actions, consider walking. We use 200 muscles to move in perfect harmony with each step, to move an upright flesh vehicle through space and time flawlessly. That's magic. Not even our best robots can mimic the type of motion that humans have. So in conclusion, what exactly is the main idea here? Dr. Emoto, this is also about how vision works in the brain. So the eyes will perceive something, and then it becomes flipped in the eyeball. And then the message gets transferred into electrons where it's then actually stored in a small section in the back of the brain. So this whole room that you're looking at right now with all its colors, it actually doesn't look this way. What you're seeing is a very small, tiny portion in the very back of your brain. It's just an illusion right now, what you're seeing. But the one thing that we don't know, we have places for everywhere in the mind. We have a place for language, for logic, for movement, for sight, but the only place we don't have is where's the mind? And so I pose the question, does the mind have to exist within the brain? Or could it possibly exist outside of the mind? So Dr. Emoto demonstrated that thoughts can affect physical properties of water outside the brain. Sacred geometric symbols seem to depict how water molecules organize themselves. What other untold secrets could the symbol hold? Isaac Newton already believed that we are all from one, and I believe he was much ahead of his time. The mind is, the one thing we can definitely take away from this is that the mind is much more powerful and reality is much more stranger than we had ever thought before. The water experiments seem to beg a lot more questions than there are answers available. How the hell does it work? It's challenging to accept. There's a lot of personal bias of what people think the way that reality works. And there's also the scientific status quo, which would be heavily too inconvenient to change the textbooks to show this one thing. But the good news is that Emoto is reinforcing what we already know. Humans are 75% water, and we know that negative thinking destroys. So let's stop thinking like this. Let's stop thinking like this. And let's have more creative, positive thinking like this.